from New York City, it's Wendy Williams. Today, Backstreet Boy Nick Carter faces the music, talking candidly about his life on stage and off. Plus, Breast Cancer Awareness Month continues with another fabulous head-to-toe makeover and some juicy Hollywood hookups and breakups and all the latest hot topics. Now, here's Wendy.
Thank you at home for watching. So glad you're joining us. How you doing? Well, I'm doing okay, but I got a couple of things to share with you that don't have me feeling very well. Lamar thinks he can kick his alleged drug habit on his own. And I think Lindsay Lohan is up to her old tricks. And the Jackson family is losing their they've already lost their $1 billion court battle. I told them not to go to court in the first place. Let's talk about it and more. It's time for Hot Topics. To be here with you. Last night was an eventful night at our house. We watched my TVGN special going to, Wendy, how you doing, Broadway? And I also made it with dinner. So we had dinner at 8 o'clock last night. Okay, I made fried chicken wings, but I fry them hard. I don't know about you, I don't like a soft chicken wing. Then I made spinach. I like to make homemade spinach, fresh spinach, not from the freezer. And Trisha Yearwood, last weekend, when I was spending the weekend down south with her, she taught me how to make the best cream corn. So I went to the store and I got my cobs. I'm from Jersey and we have the best corn. And I came back home and I made the cream corn. I'll give you a hint with the recipe. When you make your cream corn and you're cutting it off the cob, cut shallow, don't go in deep. Okay, you cut shallow. That way you get the best part of the corn, and then you turn your knife over to the not sharp side, and you drag it down the cob to take the milk out. And then and that's how you make cream corn Trisha style, and it was delicious. You don't put cream in the cream corn. Anyway, it was great. If you watched last night the TV Guide special, thank you so much. So today is Thursday, and you know what that means? Scandal season premiere at 10 on ABC. Where I will then pull out the rest of the cream corn and put some succotash in it, and then, put the lima beans in it. Anyway, all right, about the Jacksons. The Jackson family lost their $1 billion lawsuit yesterday. You might have heard about this, maybe you didn't. All right, I'll recap a little something. Michael's mother, Catherine, and his 3 children claimed that the concert promoter, AEG, was responsible for Michael's death because they hired Dr. Conrad Murray, the one who injected Michael with lethal doses of that propofol. Well, the jury sided with the concert promoter, saying that the family, you're not going to win this, and now the Jackson family won't receive a dime. This is really sad. I remember when this case first came up, I said they shouldn't be suing. Michael is who Michael apparently is. Apparently, according to all that we have seen, Michael is a man that had a drug problem. And there is no point in trying to sue somebody to blame somebody else on Michael's alleged drug problem that he allegedly had before Conrad Murray was ever in the picture. You can't blame AEG. And all they've done, all you've done, Jacksons, is make it purely transparent that, it is all about the money. Because if you were about keeping Michael's dignity intact, you wouldn't have done this lawsuit. Now all this information has come out, sending young Paris Jackson, over the deep end. Do you remember a few months ago, she went over the deep end? Goodness only knows how the other kids are feeling as they continually have to see their father's naked body on a slab on some of the weekly magazines, how they have to continually hear things, including from Uncle Randy. We would have never known this, but Randy he had to testify, of course, during the trial also. And one of the things that he said was that an intervention by the family had been staged for Michael. So, you know, this man's legacy, Michael's legacy, has now just, you know, it's been scarred and marred so many different ways, and it's because of Mrs. Jackson and the 3 kids lawsuit, because that man should just be laid to rest. He is what he was, and we love him anyway. And by the way, they are saying that the Jackson family is not happy with the verdict finding AEG innocent, and so they might continually hire lawyers and go back in and keep beating this dead horse. Terrible. Anyway, so speaking of drugs, you know, Lamar Odom is out of hiding, and yesterday he was spotted outside of the house that he shares with Chloe. In other words, their marital home. How do you think Lamar looks? See, if nobody told me he was smoking crack, I would have just thought that he just looks like a tall, lanky basketball player. He looks fine to me. Does he look crackish? Yeah. All right, clap if he looks crackish. Clap if he just looks like a tall, lanky basketball player. Well, this is the first time we've seen Lamar since September 9th, and I don't think that he looks bad at all, and he doesn't look high. Well, according to TMZ, Lamar says that he's been sober for 5 days, and he believes that he can kick his alleged Look, you gotta start with something. Okay, stop judging. All right, get out of my head, because I was thinking the same same thing, 5 days. That just means the dealer's out of town, re-ing up in Peru. Sorry, Lamar, sorry. But he's been sober for 5 days, and he believes that he can kick his drug habit with self-healing. In other words, on his own, without going to rehab. Now, I know what you're saying, but I know somebody who has dabbled in crack and coke, who kicked her drug habit on her own, and that's me. And I will tell you, and I'm sure Lamar is probably disgusted that all this information came out about him, but now Lamar, sometimes like what I found is the more people that know you're crackish, the more people that will be watching you and helping you, allegedly crackish, the more people that will be watching you and helping you. And also the more people that are gonna be likely to call, like the National Enquirer and stuff. The dealers, every time you buy, they're going to call. Every time somebody sees you sweating or looking crazy, they're going to be calling the magazines. And in a weird kind of way, you can turn this whole public, pronouncement that you're allegedly doing crack into something really positive. So maybe he can kick it on his own. He's got the support of Chloe if they stay together. He also is allegedly, reportedly, he wants to get the professional help, like go to a shrink, I guess a couple times a week, but he wants to do the rehab thing only in private. He doesn't want to go to a big place. Well, reportedly, one of his primary motives for wanting to kick it is the fact that basketball training has begun. Well, he's 33 years old, and I don't know much about basketball, but I was asking the fellas around here, and they believe that, if Lamar kicks it now, he's got another 2 or 3 good years in the NBA. He could be like Matt Barnes or somebody like that's the name that was thrown up at the same time as, Lamar. I wish you well. And Chloe, you've been looking really good as well. So I don't know whether this picture of Chloe was just taken. It doesn't matter to me whether they stay together or not, just as long as they're individually happy. Personally speaking, I do think it's a lot for Chloe to take on being with this man with this alleged problem. I'm not going to lie. With this man with this alleged problem and all the money in the world to be able to hide the problem. The NBA is his motivation, but if he's out of the NBA in 3 years, then what's going to keep him sober? Chloe wants a baby, and this is just me talking. And I feel that because Lamar already has kids, sometimes when you already have kids, you're not as committed to getting your girl the proper help that she needs and going to all the appointments and praying on it and, doing things. He already has his kids. If Chloe left him, I would not be mad. That's all. If Chloe stays with him, good for her. But it's anybody's guess. So Kris Jenner has a little sister. I know, it's so crazy to say little sister after you're like 10 years old, right? That's the little sister. She looks, duh. Do you know that this is 54? That's 54. Kris is 57. But if you squint at the little sister Karen, can't you see that they do look alike before all the whatever she got done to her face, the one up top? That mother. But that's 54, so whoever's in her age group, somebody pass her some moisturizer. But you know what? But that is Aunt Karen, and Aunt Karen is very outspoken, and we love her personality here at the show. You know, she spoke with In Touch magazine, and it's Aunt Karen who claimed that Bruce and Kris have separated. Everybody's got a big mouth relative who tells all the kitchen table talk. Karen says that Kris and Bruce's relationship goes back and forth, but allegedly Bruce has sought a lawyer. And you have to understand, Karen also says that Kris loves to party. And the reason that she loves to party is because when Kris was 22, she married Robert Kardashian. This is why I always say marriage is not for girls in their 20s. You're supposed to fist bump and doody wop and stanky leg and back that thing up and work on your career all through your 20s. So by the time you're married, you're not looking crazy partying with Joe Francis and everybody else at 57 years old, dipping it and doing it. And anyway, Karen and Kris do get along, by the way. I was reading, didn't we read in that article that they talk almost every day on the telephone? So they're close. So maybe Kris told Karen to tell In Touch that, you know, just to get it out there that she's about to be single or something. I don't know. Anyway, hey, crazy Aunt Karen. We like you. Lindsay Lohan may be up to her old tricks. And I'm talking about the worst tricks. It's time for a Lindsay update. Hit it. It pains me to share the following, but it is my duty to sit here in the purple chair and give you the word. Lindsay was spotted outside her former New York City party spot, which is right around the corner from the Wendy studio, the Dream Hotel, at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's the same place that she allegedly hit that guy with her car last year. Remember? We reported it on Hot Topics. Well, the guy in the picture with her, guess who he is? That's her close friend, Vikram Chatwell. That's Vikram. Now, you know, according to TMZ, Lindsay thinks that she and Vikram, who also struggles with drugs, can help each other stay clean. Vikram owns so many hotels. The man is a billionaire, okay? And all I'm saying is have money, have access. You can be up to things. I think that this is a terrible idea. Just when we thought that Lindsay was on the sober track, now I'm really looking with two side eyes and a squint. Do you remember last April? We told you a story here on Hot Topics. Vikram was arrested after he tried to board a plane, and he had a stash of drugs. This is just in April. No, not all. Listen to the stash. Cocaine, heroin in his crotch, right? Allegedly. He had heroin in his crotch, cocaine in the inside pocket of his jacket. I don't know where he hid the marijuana, maybe under the turban, I don't know. He also, look, he had weed, he had muscle relaxers, and horse tranquilizers. Now, where was he going with a cocktail full of drugs? Allegedly. Now, what do you think Lindsay's diagnosis for sobriety is if she continues to hang around with people who will feed her old demons? Just, not good. Not good. First thing you do is you cut off all your old friends. You start over and get to know yourself better before you even make new friends. Lindsay, not good. Anyway, and Lindsay, whatever happened to your sober coach? Remember, this guy right here, this hot guy. I thought she would have been using him for more than a sober coach. But apparently the sober coach was not outside the Dream Hotel at 1 o'clock in the morning when you were with your friend Vikram Chatwell. So we're gonna follow this story for you, all right? We're gonna follow this story. Not good. We don't talk much about Michelle Rodriguez here on the show, but you know, she's one of the stars of Fast and Furious, and she recently addressed her sexuality. She admitted that she's bisexual. She's 35 years old, and she assumed people thought that she was a lesbian because she always walks the red carpet solo and often plays butchy girls. Well, that's a lesbian, perhaps, take on, you know, somebody might think that you're like, I always thought that she was a lesbian. I mean, it didn't matter to me. She's the $5 billion woman. You know, she gets in these movies that make billions of dollars. She is like one of the most successful Latina actresses and actresses, period, of all time. She flies under the radar. No, we don't know anything about her love life, but I just assumed. But apparently, I was only half right. She's... She says that she goes both ways, and I think that that is fabulous. How you doing, Michelle Rodriguez? So Mary J. Blige, everybody, doesn't play when it comes to being treated like a queen. Okay, remember last December, the news was out that she was paid $250,000 to perform at a concert in Dallas. Well, she allegedly got $145,000 of that up front, you know, the advance. And then she was gonna get the other $105,000, I guess, after she hit her last number on the stage. You know, as she puts the mic down, she pick up an envelope and go on back home. Well, the concert promoter ended up suing Mary for breach of contract and demanded his money back. Well, at the time the story came out, there were all kinds of stories coming out about Mary being in all kinds of financial trouble, just owing everybody hundreds of thousands of dollars. Do you remember? So my thought was, okay, Mary might have agreed to do this concert, but ended up keeping the money because, you know, she needed the money, and it's not the right thing to do business-wise, so I understand why the concert promoter is suing her. Oh, Mary, what's going on? I'm thinking to myself. Well, and by the way, she never showed up to she never did the concert. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't convey that part. Yeah, sorry. The blood supply is being cut off to my brain on the leg. Uncrossed. Ow, my leg is asleep. Oh, wake up. Yeah, she never showed up to the concert, kept the $145. You see? So I just figured that was Mary, you know, just not, you know, spinning out of control. She owes people. That chicken wrap thing wasn't a good look for her. We made fun. You remember the chicken wrap. Well, according to court documents, now Mary is countersuing. There's more to this story. See, she claims that the organizers breached the contract. She says they didn't provide her and her crew with first-class transportation. Now, because this lawsuit has been filed, the papers are public, which means that we've got 5 copies in the Hot Topics office. And we've been going over them with a fine-tooth comb, and yes, it is in the contract from the concert promoter that she and her crew were supposed to be flying their first class. But what ended up happening was the promoter got chintzy, apparently, and sent Mary and her crew coach tickets. Now, the queen is not sitting back there, okay? She's put down too much work to be treated like that, so I totally get it. You know, even if Mary asks, by the way, Mary's also asking for the remainder of the money in her lawsuit, the $105,000 extra, which is probably the right thing to do. Because you see, what happens with these artists, when you want to book them to do something, they say no to everything else that comes through on that date. She could have been losing money hand over fist messing around with this concert promoter in Dallas. So, Mary, I hope that you get every dime. Sorry for thinking that you ran off with the money. And once you get that money, I hope that it helps you continue to dig yourself out of that deep debt hole. Anyway, shout out to Howard's Robin Quivers. Robin. Oh, Robin. That's how she laughed. You know, Robin had been secretly working from home as Howard's radio co-host for the past 17 months while she battled cancer. She reportedly had a cancerous tumor in her pelvis the size of a grapefruit. And yesterday, though, it was good news at the Stern Show. She returned to the studios. The doctor believes that she's cancer-free. They threw rose petals on the ground. And I think it's terrific. And I'm looking forward, Robin, I'm looking forward to seeing you and chatting. She's gonna be on the couch next Tuesday. Okay, we have a terrific show for you, everybody. In honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, another deserving breast cancer survivor is going to get a fabulous head-to-toe makeover. But up next, Backstreet Boy Nick Carter opens up about his struggles on and off the stage. Don't miss it. Sold over 130 million albums as a member of the Backstreet Boys. He now has a new memoir called Facing the Music and Living to Talk About It. He opens up in the book about how becoming famous at 12 almost killed him. Please welcome Nick Carter.
I do that for you.
Yes, thank you. It's nice to see you. Congratulations on the 20th anniversary of the Backstreet Boys. So now I understand you guys are celebrating by going on a world tour.
Yeah, we are currently on a world tour. We just actually finished the States, and we started actually in China. And now we're going over to Japan, the whole world. So we're blessed to be able to do that.
I remember a time a few years ago you guys toured and Kevin didn't go. Is Kevin on this world tour?
Yes, Kevin is back. He took a hiatus for 7 years.
Yeah.
Started a family, pursued acting, and now he's back in the group. It wouldn't have been 20th anniversary without him. So
without all
we're
of you,
glad he's back.
Always. How is it touring 20 years later? Because we all saw Justin Timberlake and In Sync on the VMAs. And there was a little struggle in the movement.
There was?
Just a little something with the other members.
No, it's actually, you have to do a lot of upkeep. I mean, you're a little older than you were before, so but actually it's aside from training and staying in shape and eating good and trying to get sleep, some of the guys actually have families now, and so they bring their kids on the road, and that's a little different.
Because you're the youngest member. I mean, when the group was invented, he was only 12 years old. So now you're 33?
I am 33, yes.
So you're still a very young man. Now, I know you have a girlfriend. Is your girlfriend going to come on tour with you?
Yeah, actually, I put a ring on it, and so...
Nice.
And she comes on the road with me,
Nice.
and so she's my fiance, actually, yeah.
Very pretty.
Thank you.
How does your past with drugs work with world touring? Because when we think of tours, don't we think of drugs, lots of sex, and just
there.
party?
It's out there. I mean, it's something that you have to be aware of. And the good thing about it, though, is if you surround yourself with good people. The guys in my group, they've become sort of a surrogate family of mine.
Yes.
And, obviously I have a fiance now, and I'm accountable to her and them as well. So.
Yeah, that's good.
And myself as well.
Were you the only one in the group who just took it to the limit with the drugs?
AJ definitely had his bouts as well as I did. But I think it definitely stemmed from my family background and the dysfunction that I sort of came from, and it just enhanced it,
I was reading in the book, so you revealed that your father owned a bar, and the family lived above the bar. And so it was like the kind of bar where the party would continue afterwards at you guys' upstairs apartment after the bar would close, and that you wandered into the booze. By the age of 2, you had your first drink.
Yeah, actually, I crawled in, and there was a picture of me actually, drinking it, and it was a laughing matter to the family, and so that was sort of like things to come in the future, obviously. But I really started to actually really had my first drink when I was like 8 or 9 years old. So that was legitimate.
Which drugs did you have the biggest problem with?
Honestly, I had a lot of trouble with ecstasy. But I still consider alcohol, it's a struggle of mine. you know, I don't like the way that I feel with it, so I still consider it sort of like a gateway drug as well. But
alcohol, and so now you're totally sober today.
well, I'm totally sober 100% when it comes to drugs. Alcohol it's a battle with me every day.
Yeah.
I don't like the way that I feel after I drink. It
Yeah.
kind of spirals me into a depression. So, but I'm still struggling and fighting.
You've been sober, well, off the drugs for about 7 years?
Yes, 7 years.
Did you have a sober coach?
I actually, when I had a lot of my problems, actually, they put me into an outpatient program instead of going into rehab. And so, yeah.
What do you think about Miley Cyrus and a lot of the people today glorifying Molly?
It's tough because, you know, actually, I actually remember being in the band. I remember when Eminem actually had an album and he spoke about drugs on his entire record as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's influential to the masses. It really is. You know, and it's a responsibility that you have, and you know, with your words as a celebrity and a singer.
Yeah. In the book, you talked about, and we talked about this the other day on Hot Topics, and I told you Nick was going to be here, so we can talk to him about Paris Hilton. You talked about how Paris Hilton, you didn't blame, it's not like you blamed her for your drug problem,
No.
but you were saying she probably wasn't the best girlfriend for me to have at that time because she fed all of the demons.
Exactly. You know, I think that's a perfect example of people that you choose to be around.
Yeah.
You know, at that time it was like, you know, misery needs company, you know.
And she's very wealthy.
It was a completely different lifestyle than what
Everybody-
I was used to. I mean, I came from a lower middle class family. That's how we started.
Yeah.
I wasn't born into it, so
Yeah.
it was tough.
How long were you with her?
We were together for approximately a year.
Long enough, right?
Long enough to, yeah. But and you know, that's not what this book is about at all. It's really, I assume responsibility as an adult. You know, I've had my issues, dysfunctional families, dysfunctional relationships, but I take responsibility.
It seems like almost a teaching tool for people, you know, caught in the grip of addiction, and you lay it out very, very truthful. What was the big turning point? Was there a time that you were, you know, laying in the street on Gun Hill Road in the Bronx and you said, I gotta get better? like what was your turn?
Yeah. I've had my moments, you know, from getting DUIs to being in jail, to you know, actually being diagnosed with a drug and alcohol-induced cardiomyopathy.
What is that?
And it was the beginning signs of it. And what it is, it's also called the sudden death syndrome. So you can literally, your heart muscle weakens, and your heart will just stop. And so it's the same thing that killed Andy Gibb, same thing that killed
Chris Penn?
Chris Penn as well.
Sean Penn's brother.
Yeah. So I had the beginning stages of it, and so that really, I mean,
Yeah.
it scared me.
You got it
It's,
together.
you know, I love life.
I want to ask you more about your family, and I want to get the skinny on this alleged reality show that he might be having. I'm not sure. We'll talk about it next. It's Nick Carter. Clap it up for him. Is it true that you and your fiance are getting a reality show?
Yeah, it is actually.
Really?
We're in the yeah. It's we're doing the presentation at the moment, but it's based on our marriage and just overcoming family issues, all the same stuff. But the person that I was when I had done
House of Carter
actually is completely different than the person I am now, so I'm comfortable with it.
House of Carters came out what, 10 years ago? 8 years?
Yeah, well, roughly about, maybe like 7 or 8 years ago.
You were still getting high. That was right before you sobered up?
Yeah, I was still having a lot of issues on
Back
that
and
show.
forth.
You know.
Your family was depicted, your sister, I'm so sorry to hear again, the one in the middle with the blonde hair, she died of a drug overdose.
Yes.
What's her name?
Leslie.
Leslie. Leslie had to have been a big reason for you also to just want to put the drugs down, leave them alone?
Yeah, well, completely. I mean, you know, the reason I wrote the book, you know, Leslie and I had a really tough relationship as it was, but like her and everyone else in my family, I love them all, and I wanted nothing but the best for them. So I wanted to write this book for someone else out there that may be going through this, you know, so that they don't have to go through the pain and the loss that I am going through right now.
Yeah.
And
then your younger brother, Aaron, he's also in the picture. He went on and had a successful music career. He emancipated himself from your mom and dad when he was 15. Now, your parents, were they divorced at that time?
Right when they divorced, I think that was right when my brother did emancipate, yes.
Is it true that that your family members have been dabbling in your family fortune to the point where you had to just separate from them?
I tried to actually separate. That was one of the issues. When I was 18 years old, I told my mother and father, I said, Mom, Dad, you stop managing us. You know, just be parents. You know, and
were they mismanaging funds? If you know
they
what
were.
I'm saying?
Yeah, there was a lot of fund mismanagement going on. Yeah.
But financially speaking, you're doing well today.
I'm doing really well. I actually, and you know, the truth is, the party lifestyle, it took a lot away from me, but I pretty much got it all back.
And you got it back nice and early. Kiddo, you're only 33 years old. You've got a beautiful fiance.
Exactly.
You're on world tour. You don't have kids yet?
Not yet.
You got a chance to have the kids.
Yes, exactly.
Life is sweet.
Yeah.
For Nick Carter.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. I really enjoyed our conversation. You can pick up, this is a good book. It's called Facing the Music and Living to Talk About It, where bookstores are sold everywhere. Keep it here. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's time for Ask Wendy. How you doing?
Hi, Wendy. My name is Patricia. How you doing?
I'm doing well, Patricia. How can I help?
Wendy, I'm 53 years old. I have 4 adult sons. They're 31, 29, 21, and 20. They are very overprotective,
Yes,
Wendy.
security's in the building.
For 14 years, I did nothing but take care of them. I didn't date, I didn't do anything.
Okay.
Their father died, so I didn't do anything but attend to them.
Yes.
So now, I want to start dating.
Yes.
And dating is absolutely have sent all of them over the top.
Do they live in the house with you?
Some of them do and some of them don't, but all of them are single and everybody does their own thing. So my question, Wendy, is, how do I get these old men to understand that mama needs a date too?
Well, and you do, and that is, you need to sit down and have a conversation with them, a serious conversation with all 4 of them, not just one at a time. And they need to hear what you're saying. Now, you're not dating 25-year-olds, are you?
No,
You're dating
absolutely
men
not.
in your age group.
Absolutely.
So you're not disrespecting them. You know, you're a woman. And
absolutely.
Yes.
And the thing is, they want to take care of me. They want to take care of me.
Well, once they get wives of their own, that's going to get real tired. So you have a talk with your boys, okay? Good luck getting back out there. How you doing?
Hi, how you doing? Hi, Wendy. My name's Jeff. So I have these neighbors that have sex very loudly, very late at night, like 2:30 in the morning while I'm trying to rest. And so I hear everything. Like I'm right in the room
Yes.
with them, basically.
I get this question a lot.
Yeah. So I've been thinking about going over and knocking on the door and letting them know I have a problem with it. But
Yes.
what should I do?
As opposed to going over and knocking on the door and letting them know you have a problem with it, go out and buy them a seasonal plant. Don't spend a lot of money. No, listen. No, listen to me. You buy them a seasonal plant and you write them, don't email or type, write them. The written word is a lost art, and it states civility. The plant, the letter, you're gonna leave it right there at the door. They're going to read it. You're going to use, good words, nothing threatening or harsh. Believe me, at least 50% of the noise would probably calm down because the way you're asking. Like if you're a door banger, hey, stop making all that noise. That only makes them want to go harder. To make you mad. So buy a little house plant and send it over, okay?
Thank you.
Good luck, Jeff. We have time for one more quick question. How you doing?
Hey, Lindsay, how you doing?
I'm doing well. What's your name?
Mariella.
Hi, Mariella.
So my boyfriend and I have been together for 10 years. We've been discussing marriage, and we're 26 and 28. And I just wanted to know if it should be the right thing that I ask him to marry me now, or our anniversary is in January.
Well, being together for 10 years sounds big, but if you got with him when you're 16 and now you're 26, have you discussed marriage before?
Yes.
And what does he say? Does he want to marry you one day?
He wants to do it. He wants to do it, but I don't want to wait anymore.
Well, honey bun, the wrong thing would be when your anniversary comes up, you want to ask him to marry you. I say, I don't go for that. Like, we women, we do a lot of modern things, but the one thing we shouldn't do, in my opinion, is ask a man to marry us. Because what happens, because they're very immature, all of you.
Oh, yes.
And what they end up doing is they throw that in your face. I didn't want to be here anyway. You asked me to marry you, you see? Don't ask him. But if you would like to have that discussion, go ahead and have the discussion. Quite frankly, I think that, you know, a cute girl like you, I'm not suggesting you break up with him, but I am suggesting you might not have had enough experiences dating and things. At 16, you were not possibly the same person you are at 26.
Not at all, but...
Have you ever cheated on him?
No.
Has he ever cheated on you?
No.
It's just the two of you.
Yep.
Good luck, honey bun. But
Thank
like I
you.
said, don't ask him, but bring up the discussion on your anniversary. All right. Up next, everybody, we've got some celebrity throwback pictures because it's Celebrity Throwback Thursday. Keep it here. Everyone, it is time for Throwback Thursday. We're taking a look at some of your favorite stars and how they looked back in the day. Our first Throwback Thursday photo is of our friend Jenny McCarthy. You know, she's got her new job on The View and her hot new boyfriend, Donnie Wahlberg. They're still going strong. So here's Jenny today. And here's Jenny from her Catholic schoolgirl days in Chicago. Isn't that adorable? Just as cute as she wants to be, she says, she posted this picture actually on her social media to prove that she is, in fact, a natural blonde. Aww. Thanks, Jenny. Also, another one of my faves, you know I love Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Love him so much. Well, he's not just good looking today. Apparently, he's always been hot. Take a look at The Rock now. And now, no, look at Rock when he was only 15. I don't know what to say except, wow, I don't remember boys looking like that when I was 15. Okay, so now it's my turn. I'm here with my mom and my dad, and I don't exactly remember what the occasion was, but I can tell you I was about 23 years old. I had gotten a handle of my weight. You could see I get my flashiness from my mother in that dress. And I made my skirt. You know, I've always been a crafter. I cut jeans and then added like a longer skirt down at the bottom. And the belt I got from Neiman Marcus after I took my mother's Neiman Marcus card, Mommy, and I bought it. And so that's my throwback picture. I want to see your Wendy throwback pictures. Follow me on Instagram and make sure that you tag your picture with the hashtag WendyTBT for throwback picture. Up next, everybody, another fabulous makeover for a fearless breast cancer survivor. Keep it here. Welcome back. I'm sitting here with my friend. She's a fashion expert. Her name is Liliana Vasquez, and all month long, we're giving head-to-toe makeovers to some really brave women who are battling breast cancer. Today, we're making over a young lady named Weeklyn. Weeklyn is a recent college graduate, and she's looking to start going on interviews, and so, you know, now that she's finished her cancer treatment, so we're helping her get back into the swing of things. Take a look.
Hi, Wendy. How you doing? My name is Weeklyn. I'm 27 years old. I recently finished treatments of chemotherapy and radiation therapy. It wasn't easy, but I made it through. I just finished college, graduated in May, and I'm looking for jobs. Wendy, please help me get back to the old me and the new me, and help me impress my new potential bosses and make me over.
So sweet. Weeklyn's life coach is Marlena. Marlena is in the audience today. You know, this is the thing. Marlena actually is a friend to the show. She kicked off Breast Cancer Awareness Month during this show's very first season 4 years ago. It's so nice to see you again. And now, what Marlena does is she coaches other women affected by breast cancer. So she's been helping Weeklyn out as well. Are we ready to see Weeklyn? Yeah! All right.
is young, so I didn't want to put her in a suit that would age her. So what I did is a deconstructed suit. So these are two separate pieces. They don't necessarily go together, but they look beautiful when you do pair them together.
Yes.
So let's start with that blouse. You don't want to do too much jewelry on your job interview, so look for a blouse that has built-in bling to
Good
kind of
tip.
help you accessorize.
Yes.
The jacket has mixed media, huge trend for fall, leather sleeves, boucle, and suede. And those black pants she can wear to any job interview. Every woman needs a great pair of black pants. Simple accessories, a great tote with a pop of color, little boyfriend watch there, make sure she's on time for those job interviews.
Yes.
And then let's talk about the shoes. Most people would do a black pump, but you can have fun with your shoes. Let them show off your personality. A metallic shoe like this one in pewter is the perfect complement to this perfect professional
She
look.
looks perfectly 26.
Exactly.
And Weekland's wig is from my new wig line. My wigologist helped her style it. I see he took a couple of inches off of it, but that's what you do. You take a wig and you make it your own. Weekland is wearing the Classic Beauty from my wig line. And Weekland, how do you feel?
Hi, Wendy. I feel great. I look amazing. I'm ready to get hired today.
You're ready for your job.
I'm ready.
Thank you, Weekland. All of my wigs can be found at hairbywendywilliams.com. And I'm also making a donation to the American Cancer Society's wig program. To find out how you can help fight breast cancer, go to wendyshow.com. Liliana, another great makeover. Thank you. Liliana Vasquez's new book is called The Cheap Chica's Guide to Style, and it's available for pre-order now. We'll be right back. I had fun, but I gotta run. Thank you, Nick Carter. Thank you, Liliana Vasquez, and of course, Weekland. My co-host, my fabulous studio audience. You didn't have to be here, but you showed up. Thank you. Tomorrow, we got the Gorgas from New Jersey Housewives, plus music superstar Nelly's gonna perform. I love you for watching today, and I'll see you next time on Wendy. Bye.